Yes, this is my statement.
We apply to tell the statement of the witness, Talib Ahmed Ben Suda. The date is 4th of August 2023, into evidence as an exhibit.
The witness statement dated the 4th of August 2023 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit and it is marked as LD.
The the
You may wish to note what you have been requested to provide.
Yes, somebody is noting.
Noted. All right. Thank you.
how many accounts of council did you find when you took over on the ground?
I can't remember.
Right. Will you be able to give us that information?
You can find it.
Good. Now, how many accounts do you maintain or create when you took over?
Did we create?
Yeah, open.
I'll have to find it.
We'll have to find out. Right. In the year 2023, because the mandate is between 2018 to 2023, do you know how many accounts you have maintained in council? Finance. Specifically for revenue that you generate.
I think the CEO is best to answer, but I can just give my.
Why would you think the CEO is the best to answer this question?
CEO is the accounting officer of council. He's responsible for that.
Yes, but you're the mayor.
Yes, he's the accounting officer. That's his responsibility.
No, that's the responsibility of the CEO, the finance director, the mayor, and council itself to know the finances of council and the accounts you maintain. Is that not the case?
That's not the case.
Okay. So the financial and accounting manual, you're familiar with it?
Yes.
Very well. It talks about the threshold. You're familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay. Have you kept during this period, have you had a threshold in relation to the finances of council, the approvals that have to be given?
The contracts committee has set out a threshold. The contracts committee and the finance committee are responsible for that. They've set up a threshold for the CEO of 500,000.
The contracts committee?
Yes.
The contracts committee cannot set up the threshold. It is the council that should do that.
No, the contracts committee and the finance committee recommend to the council resolves on the matter.
Okay, but when you said the contracts committee set up a threshold, it will suggest that the authority for expenditure was decided by the contracts committee. Now, this threshold, it is $500,000. Since when?
As far as I can remember.
And what is the authority? Who has the authority to do what, and what is the clearance procedure in relation to this threshold that they set?
In all financial matters of the council, the CEO, the director of finance are responsible for executing the procurements, the expenses, and they are the ones that are answerable to the general body. The committees of the contracts committee, finance committee set up these thresholds because the council, as per the Finance Audit Act, has asked that the contracts committee be responsible for all procurements. The CEO is the chairperson of that committee. So when they have any procurements beyond the 500,000 threshold, they recommend to the general body for a vote on a resolution.
So what do you do as mayor? Do you play any role in relation to this financial threshold that was set up?
My role as mayor is to ensure that the structures are set to ensure that the procedure is being followed.
So you don't know whether monies are withdrawn or whether they are disbursed or whether expenditures are made. You would not know how much you.
The body for that is the finance committee, the local government accounts committee, and the contracts committee, and they report to the general body.
Okay, I see it is really what so many mayors or chairmen believe, genuine or not. They will just discuss the financial and accounting manual for area councils on page 19, where you have authority for expenditure, section 305. You're familiar with this? Good. It requires that it says that the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. Do you have a copy or you need one?
So the set limits, like I said.
Let me just read this, please. It's budget approval. The finance director shall not make any payment nor accept any charge in his accounts unless authorized by the chief executive and in accordance with the monetary threshold approved by each council. As regard the monetary threshold, it should be noted that up to a given amount, the CEO can approve and incur expenditure. without reference to the chairman or mayor of the council.
So what page, sorry?
Page 19, if you have the same. Okay, good. You will see 305 authority for expenditure. Do you see that?
Yes, I'm familiar with this clause. Like I said,
Let me just allow me just read, and then I will, you can. Yes. Now I will take it again. The authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. The finance director shall not make any payment nor accept any charge in his accounts unless authorized by the chief executive and in accordance with the monetary thresholds approved by each council. As regards the monetary threshold, it should be noted that up to a given amount, the CEO can approve and incur expenditure without reference to the chairman or mayor of the council. Up to a certain amount, the CEO is required to consult and seek clearance from the chairman or mayor. Beyond a given amount, the CEO is required to refer such expenditure to council to seek approval. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, familiar with this.
What is your understanding?
Policy or guideline, but the council at the end of the day has the final decision. The council resolves that all payments above 500,000 should be the mandate of the council. Below that should be the mandate of the CEO. We have a competent contracts committee with 3 subject matter specialists, and we have a finance committee with 3 subject matter specialists who are well equipped and very competent to ensure that this is done accordingly.
So you see this as a policy that you cannot or should not abide by if you want to?
No, it's a guideline, but the council can create better guidelines based on best practices.
So what did you create, and what was your best practice?
Like I said, the contracts committee and the finance committee are charged with executing the financings of the council, and I think that is a better protection for the council than individuals.
Very well. Now, so the better policy that you have or guideline you have is that the mayor should stay away from this threshold and allow the CEO to focus on the administration.
Right. So when you go to the section, I believe it's the Local Government Act, the section of the Chief Executive Officer.
Yes.
I think it's section 42.
Right.
It states that the Chief Executive Officer is responsible and is answerable for all the finances of the council. So I think it would be contradictory for the mayor to be part of that process.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Because the mayor is to hold the CEO through its membership in the General Council accountable. So it would be a conflict of roles. If I am both part of the process, I am to hold him accountable.
No, it is not. It is not. The law is very clear. The manual is to be followed. It's very clear that it is, in fact, the manual is what you should focus on in relation to the financial activities of council. So the act and the resolutions you pass in council must be in conformity with these regulations. So if you believe that you have a discretion to depart from the manual, then
the manual is a guideline.
Right.
The law is the Finance and Audit Act and the Local Government Act.
Right.
And I am in strong belief, actually, that the manual is in contradiction of the Local Government Act, which states that the CEO is responsible for all finances of the council, and the council should exercise oversight on the CEO. I cannot be both part of the administration and part of the council. That would be a contradiction. Now, let me read to you what the chapter 1 says with respect to the preamble. Of which document? The same document. It says manual? Yes, the same document. It says this manual is to be cited as the financial accounting manual, and it shall govern the budgeting, procurement, and financial accounting of the local government authorities in the Republic of the Gambia. It shall govern it. This manual has been prepared to provide accounting instructions which are suitable for the general application through local government authorities within the Gambia, and B, give detailed procedures for the guidance of officials on the operation of specific systems within individual authorities. These instructions contained in this manual are to be read in conjunction with the provisions of the Constitution, Acts of National Assembly, general orders, and financial regulations governing the operations of local government authorities within the Gambia. All officers concerned with the collection, disbursement, and safe custody of council's monies or other council property are required to observe these accounting instructions and the procedures laid down therein, which must be strictly followed. Failure
to observe the instructions may lead to disciplinary actions being taken against offenders. Do you also think this is also a policy as well?
Like I said, it's a guideline.
No, I'm asking your opinion with respect to the preamble, whether you think what I have read that which is in the financial manual is also. Please allow me to finish my question. I am asking, I have read the preamble to you. It requires that the manual be followed, which does not give discretion to any authority. I am asking that you still believe that it council's resolutions override this if you choose to depart from this?
If a manual contravenes the Local Government Act, are we obliged not to follow that manual?
No, that's
Section 42 of the, Section 43 of the Local Government Act, functions of the CEO. The CEO is responsible for the day-to-day performance and executive administrative functions of the council and the implementation of all its decisions, supervise, monitor, coordinate activities of departments of all the council, and ensure accountability and transparency in the management and delivery of the council services, be the accounting officer of the council, be the custodian of documents and records of the council, and perform such other functions as required by the act or any other enactment. I think it is clear that the mayor cannot be part of the implementation of financial activities of the council, because the same mayor has to sit at the chair of the council and hold that very CEO accountable.
Now, the issue here is that the manual, do you have any other issue with respect to any other provision of this manual?
Say it again.
Do you have any query with respect to any other provision of this manual that you think you should not follow?
Not that has been brought to my attention.
So the one that you have a problem is with respect to the authority for expenditure.
Because that involves involving the mayor in an activity that would.
Why would you not want to know what is withdrawn from your accounts?
I know what is going on in the council through my competent council committees.
No, or the question is asked, why would you not want to know what is withdrawn from the accounts of council?
I know what is withdrawn through reports of the finance committee, government accounts committee.
Why would you not want to know when a CEO is withdrawing monies and the finance director, they are withdrawing monies from the accounts of council?
That is not my role. The day-to-day activities are the responsibility of the CEO. I am charged to lead the council to hold that CEO accountable.
So when this threshold is recommended and it's required that it has to be followed, do you think it is a bad precedent? It's a bad law.
It is a bad law unless otherwise the Local Government Act was reformed. During my first term as mayor in 2018 September, I led 6 other mayors to write a letter to the Ministry of Local Government asking that the Local Government Act be amended and reformed, because it does not make the mayor an executive and makes the CEO an executive.
Yes.
Madam Chair, if you allow, I can read that letter for the benefit of the commission.
May you present it so that we can admit it in evidence and we can discuss it?
Okay.
Yes, if you have the letter there,
yes,
you can present it and we will admit it as an exhibit.
Yes.
And then we will be in a position to discuss it.
Madam Chair, forgive me, but if I'm just appealing one more time, because I think it would benefit the discussion with the lead council going forward. If I just read certain excerpts, we wrote to the Minister of Local Government.
Yes, we are all saying the same thing. If you have the letter and we admit it in evidence, we can discuss the letter, and we will also be able to make deductions or form an opinion on the letter you have written. I think that is.
But if I may just explain one section verbally, I will not.
Do you have the letter with you? Yes, present it and let's admit it first.
We apply to tender the following documents. The first is dated the 17th of September 2018, addressed to all mayors, mayoresses, chairpersons, with the heading Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act 2002 as amended.
Sorry, I hope I didn't give you more documents than.
I have 3 here.
Yeah, sorry. I think the last 2 are.
The last 2 would not be part of it?
No. So I think the letter behind that letter from the ministry, sorry, in the same document,
Yes, yes.
Just on the page, same document, you will see the letter from the mayors.
In fact, I have 4 here, I think.
Yes, it's just one.
So this is the one you want us to have admitted.
That's the one. The letter I'm speaking of is a letter we wrote,
Right,
signed by 7 mayors,
right,
including Rohi Malik Law of Banjul,
right,
Malamin Bojang of North Bank.
right,
We have Landing Sane of Mansa Konko
right.
and Sirifo Sonko of Birkama,
Yes,
where we, from the time we took up office, we noticed that there was an anomaly with the Local Government Act.
right,
Because as per international standards, mayors are executives. And by right, if you are elected to run the affairs of a municipality, you must be able to be held accountable for those responsibilities.
Okay, let me have it admitted first. Let me apply to have it admitted first. We apply to have the letter dated the 17th of September 2018 with the heading proposed amendments to the Local Government Act 2 as amended to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit. Yes. Of that's some phenomenal revolution. Even so what's up? How to call it again?
A letter dated the 17th of September 2018 with reference LM 131 stroke 321 stroke 01 in brackets 22. The letter is addressed to all mayoresses, stroke chairpersons, and it has the caption Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act 2002 as amended. It is signed by Fatu Jiba for Permanent Secretary. It is copied to the Lord Mayoress, Banjul City Council. Let me just say all the relevant councils. And attached to this letter is a letter dated the 8th of September 2018 from all mayors and chairpersons. It is addressed to the Ministry of Lands and Local Government. It has the subject proposed amendments to the Local Government Act. And the said letter is signed by all the councils concerned. These two documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/KMC/CAB/002.
As it comes to places.
Thank you, Madam.
I believe the witness wants to read a paragraph or so from the letter. Is that correct, Mr. Benson?
Thank you, Lead Counsel.
Yeah.
Please, your indulgence, 5 minutes. So our letter is dated from all mayors and chairpersons on the 8th September 2018, written to the Ministry of Lands and Local Government. And the title is Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act. There, Honorable Minister, over the years, the original Local Government Act passed in 2002 was amended numerous times. The purpose of the amendments was to reduce the authority of the councils to ensure that they remain firmly under the control of the executive. The original act was intended to implement the decentralization policy of the government, which was to deconcentrate power from the center by empowering the councils to take charge of the development agenda of the municipalities and regions through strong, capacitated local government structures elected by the people. It is proposed to reverse some of the amendments to ensure that the councils have the authority to govern their municipalities as originally intended, with the authority to make vital decisions. Proposed changes. I will just read three, Madam. The section 10, which is about the establishment committee. The section states, the original section 10 had only 4 subsections. Subsection 5 and subsection 6 were added to make the councils answerable to the governor in the regions and also subject them to the laws, to the approval of the governor. The following amendment is proposed. Subsection 5, the words "and be answerable to the governor" should be deleted. Subsection 6, the words "unsigned by the governor" should be deleted. Section 54, which also have to be amended in this regard to remove the governor from the process of enacting bylaws of the council. Section 15, functions of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress. The original act provided that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress shall be the political head of the local government area. This was deleted by Act number 8 of 2004. It is proposed that this subsection be restored because, having been elected by universal adult suffrage, the chairperson of the council is the political head of the area. It is also proposed that the functions of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress be rationalized with the functions of the council under Section 48. Section 48 vests executive powers in the council. However, it is not practicable for a body or persons to exercise executive power. It is therefore proposed to amend this section to the effect that executive powers of the council shall be vested in the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, who shall be answerable to the council for the exercise of such powers. This would remove doubts about the authority of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress in relation to the CEO. Both section 15 and 48 will have to be amended to effect this change. The next critical one for this particular discussion is the clerk of council. The original section provided that the clerk shall be answerable to the chairperson, mayor, mayoress in the performance of his or her functions. This was amended by legal notice number 8 of 2004 to make the clerk answerable to the council. It is proposed that this amendment be reversed to enable the chairperson, mayor, mayoress supervise the work of the clerk, since it is the chairperson who presides over meetings and is responsible for the efficient conduct of council. The last one is on the local government service. The part provides for a local government service commission for each council for the appointment of council staff. The commission is appointed by the minister. It is important that the council is able to take responsibility for all HR matters, including the appointment of its staff, to ensure that it has more autonomy on its operations. It is therefore proposed that the local government commission is decentralized and appointed by each mayor, chairperson, or mayoress in their various localities. The membership of the commission should be independent and qualified citizens. It is also important that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress is able to drive the agenda for the council effectively, so that the chairperson should have greater say on the composition of the management team comprising the chief executive officer, finance directors, and other line directors. It is therefore proposed that the chief executive officer, the finance director, and all other directors are appointed by the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, after consultation with the local government service commission, which is appointed by the mayor. This is consistent with the arrangements at central government level, where the head of state appoints the secretary general and all other heads of institutions after consultation with the public service commission. This is consistent with the arrangements of central government level, where the presidents appoint the secretary general. Oh, sorry, I just said that. So this was a letter that was sent to the Ministry of Local Government 3 months after we were elected into office, signed by Rohi Malik Lo, Talib Bensouda, Sirifo Sonko, Fode Danjo, Landing Bisane, Malamin Bojang, Ibrahim Asane, and Sehu Jawara of Kuntawar Area Council.
All right.
And should I read the response of the ministry?
No, no need for that.
No.
Which part of that letter talks about the threshold?
The part of the letter that concerns the threshold is executive power of the mayor.
Yes, which says what?
So in all area councils, mayors should be the chief executive. The mayor should be the executive running the affairs of the council after winning elections.
No, I mean, which part of the letter addresses the issue of the threshold?
That's the part I'm talking about. So as an executive, you will be the key person responsible for both the financial decisions of the council and the human resources.
You did not address the threshold in that letter directly, did you?
I did.
Directly, the issue of the threshold?
I did.
Can you read it again for our discussion?
It's a matter of law, lead counsel.
No, just read it again. The part
I can read that part.
That you address the issue of the threshold, so that we can have, or we can be on the same page for the purpose of proceeding to the next questions.
So the functions of the mayor and mayoress.
All right.
The original act provided that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, shall be the political head of the local government area.
Right.
This was deleted by Act number 8 of 2004.
Right.
It is proposed that this subsection be restored because having been elected by universal adult suffrage, the chairperson of the council is the political head of the region.
Right.
It is also proposed that the function of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress be rationalized with the function of the council under section 48.
Did you directly raise the issue of threshold in the letter?
That's what is addressed.
No, did you directly raise the issue of threshold in that letter? The issue of threshold is a very specific issue with respect to the...
Which is connected to the executive powers of the CEO and not the mayor.
So it is not directly raised?
It is directly.
Directly raised would have the words threshold.
It is
mentioned. Let me have it. Let me have it. No, I think Mr. Benson is very clear. I do not want to in any way try to say that what you are raising are not matters of concern. I think you govern your area councils better. The issue of decentralizations are real-time issues that we should discuss. The idea that you have to have certain powers to execute your functions would be paramount in the execution of your duties. You occupy these offices, you know your challenges, and therefore it is important to raise them, and you have done that, to just that. And I think that is what is supposed to be done, to communicate with government or through the courts to try to see how best the people that we govern, either as chairman, mayors, or mayors, are done effectively, and that we have a common ground there. But the idea that the issue of threshold was raised directly would not be correct, because in this letter, when we discuss the issue of threshold in the financial manual, and it is expressly stated, if you have a problem with the threshold, you will want to address it specifically so that it can be discussed. But then the letter does not in any way have a direct mention of what the threshold is and who should have what.
If I can speak relatively freely, the issue of the threshold, may I say, is illegal. The mayor cannot be a judge, jury, executioner. If the mayor is part of the council as an oversight body, it cannot also be part of the operations of that very body.
I agree. I'm just saying someone else may read this and not see the issue of threshold being discussed. You may read it, or in fact, as at the time you guys wrote this letter, genuinely, you may perhaps think or have the opinion that the issue of threshold is discussed here. So the idea that someone else may even read this and not see the issue of threshold expressly discussed is a possibility, correct?
But if I can use an example, if I may, Chairperson.
No, do you agree with that? Do you agree with my position?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, then we move on. Now, the recommendations on the amendments of the financial and accounting manual. You guys, let me say you departed from the requirement that there has to be a threshold by the financial manual, correct? You departed from that requirement because you believe strongly that the resolutions that is passed overrides this, correct?
No, there's a threshold. The threshold is with the CEO and the council.
No,
the person removed from that threshold is the mayor.
No, yes, In effect, you have departed from the requirements of the financial manual.
The illegal requirement.
I am not talking about legal requirements. Also, I'm just saying going by the financial manual in itself, when it requires that there has to be clearance from one stage to the other. When the chairman or the mayor wants, or the CEO wants to make withdrawals or accept charges in his accounts of council, there has to be clearance from the mayor or chairman. It's an express requirement by the financial manual. And then up to a certain age, the council must clear. I am saying that going by your answer, you have said that you don't think is best practice, and therefore you have departed from that, correct?
I said, based on what that has said, the council has determined that is an illegal activity. That's why it says the threshold should be determined by the council. If the council determines that the mayor should not partake in those thresholds, it is perfectly legal for the council to take.
Yes, yes. So there was a departure.
Chairperson, if I may, I wanted to draw an example, a parallel with the Local Government Act and the Constitution.
Yes.
So the Local Government Act has many sections that are in contravention of the Constitution.
No, you cannot say they are in contravention of the Constitution. You know why you cannot say that?
We have tested it in the Supreme Court and we have won.
For the ones you have tested in the Supreme Court, you've won. Hear me out. Hear me out. For the ones you have tested in the Supreme Court of you, and you have
the parallel and example I am using for you, lead counsel.
The ones you have tested in the Supreme Court.
No.
And you have won. We are not discussing those ones.
No, I am saying a parallel, an example is just because something is set out on paper in a policy or in an act does not make it legal.
I think that's 101.
As a mayor and as a citizen of the Gambia,
yes,
I should follow the Constitution to the letter.
Yes, Mr. Bensouda, no one is doubting that. You see, there are various laws, and you have legal advice. So there are various laws that you must abide by. When you run these institutions, you abide by all those laws, regulations, acts, the Constitution, you abide by them. And so that when you have that which you have been doing, when you have a disagreement with what a provision says, you don't think is right, you don't decide that there is inconsistency, so I am not going to follow it. No, you do what you do. You go to court. No, hear me out. Hear me out. You go to court. And then when you go to court, then you have your judgment. And that becomes the law. Moving from that day, the judgment is passed.
The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So if there's any act or policy that is illegal, I'm obliged not to follow it and follow the Constitution.
Now, which part of the Constitution does this issue of threshold contravene?
No, I was drawing a parallel between the Local Government Act and the Constitution.
Let's not do a parallel. Let's answer the question based on the subject matter. The subject matter here is the financial manual and the Local Government Act.
So, lead counsel, I think, Chairperson, what I said originally was the policy is in contravention of the Local Government Act, which vests all financial authority with the CEO. The role of the mayor and the council is to hold the CEO answerable for the execution of the finances of the council. Now,
Yes,
the mayor is a member of the council. Sorry, madam.
Yes. You can.
If the mayor is a member of the council to hold the CEO accountable, then he cannot also be implementing alongside the CEO. That's why I draw the example of that original letter where we noticed this anomaly from the first time we took office. And we said, mayors should be the executive. All over the world, the mayors are the executive. The mayor can decide whether to hire a CEO or not to hire a CEO for the administration of that area council. So we wrote with the ministry to try to adhere to those best practices. In their response, they agreed with us. That's why I wanted to read the response. They agreed with us. However, they said they wanted to make a comprehensive reform and don't want to do it in piecemeal, which we accepted at the time, but the reforms never came.
Do I proceed, Madam Chair? Good. I'm back to the issue, Mr. Bensouda. We are strictly talking about this issue regarding the threshold. Now, the council departed from the threshold. Do you have the resolution that has discussed this threshold and decided that you will pass through it? You will not adhere to it? No, did you pass a resolution first? Did council pass a resolution with respect to the threshold to say that you have seen the local government financial manual and that you do not think that it is feasible, and then council has resolved that this part of the threshold be departed from, and there is a better way of administration?
It's good you raised this issue, lead council. In our 2018, when we took over the council, I think it's an open secret about how damaged KMC was.
No, Mr. Bensouda, I want you to answer the question.
I'm answering the question.
Yes, council pass a resolution.
I have to submit my evidence in full. That's why I.
Yes, can we wait for one another so that we will not be speaking, so that I can appreciate your evidence, because we're really following your evidence.
Thank you, madam.
So you allow him to ask the questions and you answer the questions.
Right.
And then we will give you ample time
Right.
to elaborate and explain in details for us to appreciate, what you're saying.
Madam
All right?
Chair, I respect that very much. I just wanted to create one second context. I'm not going to do a long story. It was just saying that when I came, we saw the problems. So originally, the council said, Mayor, can you check all payments above 100,000? That's why I said, I'm thankful that he asked that. There was a resolution in our first general council meeting that all payments above 100,000, let the mayor check it. But then our director of compliance visited me at my office and said,